source for the sports gamer.
How's it going, sports gamers? Mike Strum, managing editor of Sports Gamers Online here with an update on a lot of the questions surrounding NHL 22. Now, we talked about it yesterday during our reveal reactions about some things not being there, and we didn't have really a lot of clarifications on a few things, namely GM connected, cross-play, cross-gen, and gameplay updates. But now we have some clarification on a few things, and now that more has come out officially from EA, we'll get into it a little bit here. If you have any questions at all that I can hopefully answer that I don't get into in this video, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always, leave a like on this video and subscribe to SGO so you never miss any of our latest NHL videos. So without any more delay, let's talk about gameplay. So based on a quote, specifically by an EA dev, Clement Kwong, he gave off the impression that there were going to be no gameplay updates in the form of animations and things like that this year. And the quote specifically that people are talking about comes from an interview in IGN in which he says, in terms of overall gameplay animation, that hasn't really changed. Well, this set the NHL world on fire because if you're not going to have cross-play or cross-gen play between Xbox Series X and Xbox One or PS5 and PS4, what is even the point, or why aren't there any major differences? Well, thankfully, community manager of NHL, Clappy, posted on Twitter Friday night saying, want to clear up some misconception that there are no new NHL 22 gameplay animations. There's now new reverse hitting, new pass and shot blocks, many new pickups, revamped puck protection, additional goalie saves and pokes, and more. We'll provide detail on everything gameplay soon. So that is something great to hear about NHL 22 for those of us who are worried because, again, this information, like the misconception comes because of the quote given by an EA Sports NHL developer. So if you're going to give that quote and say, well, gameplay not much has changed, well, you're going to expect some backlash with it. Other things that were clarified. Ray Ferraro and James Cybulski will be back on the call in this year's game, though there will be some new presentation updates, mainly in the form of augmented reality. For example, when a penalty happens, above the penalty box, a graphical show. In the face-off circle, the face-off circle will be split in two, and it'll show important stats about the face-offs. We don't have any clips of those just yet, but these are things that we know are coming, as well as new lines of dialogue for everyone. Next, let's talk about the differences between generations. So we know apparently there's going to be some gameplay differences, but in an interview with GameSpot now, Kwong gave more details about the visual comparisons and features that are going to be different between the console generations. On last and next gen consoles, there'll be deferred lighting everywhere, improved visual effects, post effects, particle effects, ice improvements, shadows, dynamic ambient occlusion, overhauled player likenesses, uniform improvements, hair shader upgrades, eye shading and animation upgrades, enhanced procedural awareness, improved skin shading, and cloth animation. On the next-gen only versions on PS5 and Xbox Series X, there will be dynamic lighting with enhanced shadows, micro details, and enhanced effects. For those micro details, it involves facial animation on all heads, micro detail on the gear, including seeing every stitch on a jersey, higher fidelity cloth simulation and how it moves, and dynamic lighting on cloth and characters. So a lot of the differences appear to be with visuals between the generations. Then came the question, all right, well, what else is there? Both games, both platforms, or both generations will be fully featured, have the same modes and same off-ice features. However, they won't have GM connected. Kwong said that the development team took a, quote, really hard look at the feature, but they knew they had to prioritize the move to Frostbite. But the mode, according to Kwong, is on the list for long-term projects because they know the community continues to ask for it. And lastly, in a big win for EASHL players, custom builds are coming back into the game for the first time since the Xbox 360, PS3 era. Community manager Clappy posted on social media, custom builds are back for NHL 22. This was one of our most highly requested features and a direct result of your feedback. The addition of X Factors add a whole new layer of creativity and customization that you've never had before. We'll have a lot more info on this soon. we've mentioned in our wish lists. We talked about it during our reaction streams of the trailer, but having this back is a major win for players like myself who focus and primarily play the EASHL, because now we'll be able to make our characters and our players feel as unique and different as we want, rather than so many players having the same build or having the same meta. But that's all we have right now as far as updates on NHL 22. We'll have more information on game modes, gameplay, and presentation coming up in the upcoming weeks until the game's October 15th launch. If you have any questions, again, let us know in the comment section below, or hit me up on Twitter at MikeStrawMedia. I try and answer everything as much as possible there. But until next time, subscribe to Sports Gamers Online, and as always, visit our website at sportsgamersonline.com.